Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Jaswinabo, also known as the ThrashMetalGuru, and I would just like to welcome you on to the channel of the ThrashMetalGuru. Like I've said before in my other video, if you've watched that, and just letting you know it's a lot different from this one. This one is just basically expanding a little bit beyond. It's just going to be more than just me talking. I'm going to see if I can have Skype calls on here. I might have to actually ask a couple of favors for some, let me rephrase that. I'm going to ask a couple of favors, a couple of Skype call vids just to put in. There's probably one I gotta put in. That was my confrontation with Jim Prophet Communist. Now, before anyone jumps on me for saying, well, I thought you were done with him, when that little Skype call comes on, I had no idea he was gonna come on until he was added in, and then all of a sudden, all this argumentation and debate came on, and trust me, you can watch it for yourself. Anyway, I'm just gonna wrap it up saying that whether he's trolling or not, doesn't really matter. There's really nothing to talk about on him. Pushed out of the way. Now, so I'm going to start things off here a little bit, and since I don't have much battery power left, I'm just going to try to at least get right to what I need to my subject here. Now, basically, how I'm starting off my first episode is that I'm going to at least read to you something that I wrote, and I want to one day put this into a song. Now, this song that I wrote was based upon two things. They were inspired by Metallica's Fade to Black and Pink Floyd's on the wall, Now basically what I'm trying to compare Pink Floyd and Metallica with Pink Floyd's The Wall and Metallica's Fade to Black is basically the combination between these two gives me some sort of an imagery of a certain type of item that represents pain, regret, suffering, dwelling within the past. And basically, let me just read it to you and then I'll explain it later. It's called The Noose. Alright. Losing breath from life, drawing closer to death every day, shaking with regret and persistent pain, can this plague just go away? Jealousy and deep envy, the darkness that stains me, my obsession can't be released, scorned with two-faced masks, time to die. Every threat that represents, every bitter memory, wraps around my neck, squeezing me to death. Look what it has done to me. Numbed and regretful is what I have become, as if I was hanged by a noose. All these stains within my soul, emotional damage takes its toll. Again it wraps around tighter till I'm through. Like a dead weight to society, the one they want to lose. I can only save myself if this rope would just loosen itself. Resist every thread that I remember. Maybe I can live in the light, but I'm just left in the dark. To choke on everything deep inside of all of these memories. Now basically this song, The Noose, is basically the thoughts of the past, which I have told you before in my channel that I've been stuck in the past, I've been regretful of many things, and basically the item of the noose is basically, I would say imagery, maybe a little bit of metaphor, I could be wrong, but the imagery of it is that every painful memory, every regret, every bit of feeling useless represents a thread within that rope or the noose, and it feels like all of that seems to be choking the life out of me. It seems to have a grip on me, and the more it tightens, the more I feel like there's no escaping it, and there's no hope. That's basically the comparison. That's basically where I've actually based and inspired upon from Pink Floyd's, Another Brick in the Wall. And of course, with Metallica's Fade to Black, is the series not really what's much of suicide, but much more of feeling, it's closer to death. It just feels like you can't escape the pain that you're trying to run away from because it keeps coming back to haunt you. Now, like I said before in my other channel, that I had many problems and I was obsessed. And I'm still feeling regretful about some things back home in Texas, and I still do. I will be honest to God. on the brighter side, I'm still happy that I'm, continue on. I still feel strong, but sometimes I feel like all that pain, all that regret, being the scapegoat to some people, just not making sense to anyone. Just felt like I had a noose around my neck, and it's just I couldn't. It's kind of hard to breathe when you feel that way and you feel so saddened, and it's really not something that you can really escape from. Now, of course, it's going to sound depressing for a very first episode, but there's going to be more of these that I'm going to be reading to you that's actually going to have a little bit more of a lighter tone or more of a fury tone as it is. And of course, I know it's not exactly all about what I said here, because it kind of might be misleading because I'm talking about many different things. But I guess the moral of what I wrote in here is that sometimes in order to break away a little, you have to overcome the things in life, the obstacles of which you face. And if you can overcome these obstacles, that metaphorical or the imagery of the noose will start to loosen a bit, and you won't feel like life is choking you by this rope, in which the rope represents every thread, in which every thread actually represents painful memories and regrets of losses, being a bad person, in doing things that you're not proud of doing. And that's basically why I wrote this. Now, before I end it off, I'd just like to say thank you for watching, thank you for taking the time to at least listen through. I'll actually write down the lyrics in the description below, because it's supposed to be a little bit more of a longer song. I might write another version of it and then upload it later, but this is just going to be the original one for right now. I'll just try to see if I can actually put a little bit more into it, more feeling and more variation of what I'm feeling. But anyways, thank you for taking the time. This is the ThrashMetalGuru's channel. I hope you guys have a very good day, and I hope you guys will... I really can't think of anything other to close, but just to say, have a good night.